UFOs were seen flying in and out of a major underwater alien base near Guantanamo Bay almost 50 years ago, according to bizarre claims of a former U.S. Marine. The ex-Marine has come forward to reveal what he and his comrades experienced in 1968 to 1969 while stationed at the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base. Although the dates he put down are a shot in the dark, he recalls heavy UFO traffic over and around the base that were 50 feet to 100 feet across. The interview was published by the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, which is said to be the largest UFO sightings documenting an investigation organization in the world, reports the Inquisitor. The interview describes many nights of sightings that he and his fellow soldiers witnessed, and although they talked about the activity on base, they were forbidden to discuss it in public. All of us Marines were amazed at the amount of UFO activity over and around this base, the witness said. Virtually every night UFOs were flying overhead with altitudes of less than 300 feet. The Marine, whose name remains anonymous, was given orders to monitor the fence line when he spotted the Martian vehicles. He described the UFOs being about 50 feet to 100 feet across, but were not the flashy saucers shown in the movies. Most of these UFOs were approximately 50 to 100 feet across, but to the naked eye came off as a dull, hazy hull with a small red light trailing behind it, he said. When I stood guard duty on the south side of the base, I witnessed on many nights UFOs landing and taking off out of the ocean. There were large blue lights moving around after their landing in the ocean and then slowly dimming down as they obviously descended deeper. While monitoring his post, he witnessed several UFOs flying around the area night after night, landing and taking off out of the ocean, he explained to investigators. After watching the ships take off and land, he assumed there had to be a major underwater UFO base in the Guantanamo Bay. The witness recalled one event that he said was most exciting, which he observed while standing guard at the main gate of the base, reports Open Minds. Around 7 p.m., the former Marine stepped out of the guardhouse, looked over the fence at an empty guardhouse on the other side of the base and saw an enormous white cloud with blue flashing lights near the ground. It was approximately 7 p.m., dark, when I stepped out of the guard shack and looked across the fence at the deserted Cuban guardhouse when something caught my eye, the former Marine said. Behind the Cuban guard shack near the ground was a huge white cloud with a blue-white, baby blue pulsating light in the middle of it. Bewildered by the sighting, he asked of his comrades what they were seeing as it passed over the shack in their direction. He remembers seeing the UFO that looked like a big beautiful cloud with a blue and white pulsating light quietly hovering over their heads. A few minutes later the silence was broken by someone yelling, "Get the hell out of there!" A sergeant was yelling from the observation tower, ordering them to vacate the area. The Marine and other soldier walked towards the barracks just 200 feet away, which allowed them to observe the action from a safe distance. They saw intelligence officers pull up to the scene with what looked like a film crew that recorded the alien vehicle while it hovered for about 3 hours before shooting off into the west. The UFO traveled about quarter of a mile, stopped for a moment, then like a bullet, shot straight up in the air until it disappeared, he said. I would love to go back there just to see if the UFOs are still showing up. The dates that I have put down is a shot in the dark because that was 50 years ago. Last year, a former NASA employee came forward about the agency covering up a series of UFO sightings that they codenamed Santa Claus. Donna Hare claims she was told by numerous sources, which she does not name, about 3 UFOs that landed shortly after one of the moon landings and NASA airbrushing UFOs out of satellite pictures, reported Express.